Oh hello, I didn't see you there. Welcome to lesson 2. Today we will go over the very foundation of a car, the frame. And then, we will go over powertrain layouts. I hope you're ready, because lesson 2 will be a bit harder than lesson 1. Pay attention, because there will be a quiz at the end of the lesson. Okay, here we go. This is the frame, or chassis, of a car. There are two main types of car frames, but for demonstration purposes I have included a third type. Other frame types exist, but they are either uncommon, or only used for specific purpose-built vehicles. For this video, we will just talk about these three frame types. This frame here is called a ladder frame due to its ladder-like shape. It is also referred to as a body-on-frame design, since the body of the vehicle sits on top of the frame. This type of frame is the oldest frame type to exist. Ladder frames are strong, durable, and cheaper to produce compared to other frame types. However, they have a rougher ride and are less comfortable for the occupants of the vehicle compared to other frame types. Ladder frames are best suited for heavy-duty applications such as hauling heavy loads and tackling extreme terrain, which is why they are mostly used for trucks and off-roaders where comfort is not a priority. This frame is called a unibody frame. It is called such because the body and frame of the car are integrated together. This type of frame is the most common type in modern times. Almost all passenger cars have a unibody frame. That is, because unibody frames provide the best comfort and safety compared to other frame types. The downsides of unibody frames are that they are more complicated and costly to produce compared to ladder frames. This type of frame is called a tubular frame, sometimes referred to as a space frame. It consists of a rigid tubular structure that acts as a skeleton for the vehicle, with body panels mounted onto it. This is a specialized type of frame that is not used for passenger cars. It is used for vehicles such as race cars and ATVs. It is strong, rigid, and lightweight, making it an excellent choice. However, tubular frames are complex and costly to produce, and they are not designed to absorb impacts from a crash, making them unsuitable for passenger cars. Now, I'd like to demonstrate how these different frames absorb impacts. Whoa, that was trippy, man. Anyways, here are the frames. I will roll them down this incline and into a wall so that we can see how each frame absorbs impacts. Here we go. Wow, that was cool. Let's check it out in slow motion. Here is the ladder frame. Notice how it absorbs some of the impact, but also bounces backwards because it is only partially absorbing the impact. It is important to note that the body that would be on the ladder frame would also absorb some of the impact, but the whole vehicle would still bounce backwards like shown. In comparison, here is the unibody frame. Notice how it deforms and absorbs as much of the impact as possible without deforming the passenger compartment. It acts as a sort of cushion for the occupants of the vehicle, and hardly bounces backwards at all. This is ideal for passenger cars where safety is a top priority. In contrast, here is the tubular frame. Notice how it absorbs almost none of the impact and bounces backwards pretty far. If there were occupants in there right now, they'd be dead. Oh crap, I should have put dummies in the vehicles. Oh well. By the way, have you ever wondered if chickens could fly? Nailed it. Okay, moving on. Now we will go over powertrain layouts. The powertrain consists of all the components needed to propel a car: the engine, the transmission, drive shafts, and axles. All cars have a powertrain, but there are different layouts of the powertrain depending on the car's design and intended use. First we will talk about engine placement. Most cars have the engine in the front, but some cars have the engine in the middle or in the rear of the car. For simplicity we will stick with cars that have the engine in the front since they are the most common. Engines can be mounted in two directions, longitudinally and transversely. Longitudinal engines are mounted so that, lengthwise, they are parallel with the length of the frame like shown here. You can think of it as the engine being front to back. Transverse engines are mounted so that, lengthwise, they are perpendicular to the length of the frame like shown here. You can think of it as the engine being side to side. Which direction the engine is mounted depends not only on the vehicle's design and intended use, but also depends on which wheels receive power, aka the drive type of the vehicle. There are 4 different drive types: rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive. I won't get into the details on drive types in this video because it gets kinda complicated. All you need to know for this video is that engines are typically mounted longitudinally for rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, and typically are mounted transversely for front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive vehicles. However, there are exceptions, but for simplicity I won't get into all that. Okay, it's quiz time. What the f***? Sorry about that. Anyways, it's quiz time. Question 1. Which car frame is considered the safest and most comfortable for the occupants? A. Ladder frames. B. Unibody frames. Or C. Tubular frames. The answer is B. Unibody frames. Question 2. What are tubular frames typically used for? A. Trucks and jeeps. B. Everyday passenger cars. Or C. Race cars, ATVs, and other specialized vehicles. The answer is C. Race cars, ATVs, and other specialized vehicles. Question 3. True or false? The powertrain consists of the frame, brakes, tires, and suspension. The answer is false. Question 4. If Sam has 64 bananas and Chris jumps over blue cliffs, what time is the big shiny umbrella? A. 1469 monkeys. B. Physical substances in general, as distinct from mind and spirit. In physics, that which occupies space and possesses rest mass, especially as distinct from energy. C. Cat. Or D. None of the above. The answer is... Okay, bye. See you in lesson 3.